I'll just mute.
Sure. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Every day is a wonderful blessing, either cloudy or sunny. It stands for hope, thoughts, and giving us another start. It is this what we call life. The panel of eminent intellectuals, Your Excellency, teachers, and all my dear friends. How beautiful is this day? Indeed, really wonderful. The vibes emanating from this epicenter tells us an entirely different tale altogether. Dear audience, make yourself comfortable. Sit back, sip a tea, and feel the vibes of this session. As we here will answer most of your unanswered questions that have been in the back of your cerebrum, but no one has helped you out with the same. Well, I, Ryan Fergus, shall be your host. Deepali Bansode ma'am, and all fellow members of this audience. We welcome you all to this gratified event. We assure you that this event shall answer most of your questions, as the event once did go through all the same doubts couple of years ago when you were sitting on the same benches back then. At such a blissful event, I would like to quote Steve Jobs, who has at his commencement speech at Stanford University did say, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future." Now, moving on, we feel honored to have with us our keynote speaker, Mr. Vinay Patel Sir, who is an alumnus of our college, Pune College of Pharmacy, Pune. Vinay Sir has obtained his bachelor's degree from Pune College of Pharmacy, Pune, and graduated by the end of June 2017. He then went on to pursue his master's from the University of Brooklyn, where he completed his degree in Master of Science in Pharmaceutics with a specialization in industrial pharmacy. He is truly known for his exhaustive industrial experience, where he interned at Abbott Pharmaceuticals, New Jersey, USA, where he completed an industrial project on the detailed study of substages of manufacturing and quality processes for solid dosage forms, ophthalmic solutions, and formulation stability testing using DCS and FTIR. Furthermore, he has undergone an extensive training at Shrikam Limited, Taloja, Mumbai, where he presented cases to multidisciplinary teams and discussed therapeutic intervention and worked directly with quality assurance and quality control in analyzing the acquired samples to achieve results using analytical instruments. Additionally, he has experience as a vaccine downstream process development scientist at Johnson & Johnson Pharmaceuticals, Pennsylvania, USA, and has worked with a plethora of esteemed institutions in and outside of India. We welcome you, sir, for enlightening us with your perspectives on the greener pastures and future prospects for pharmacy graduates.
So thank you so much for warm welcome, Ryan. And before I begin, I would just like to thank Dr. Atmaram Pawar sir, Dr. Dipali Bansode ma'am, Dr. Sharvil Patil sir, Dr. Vaibhav Shinde sir, and Dr. K.R. Mardik sir for giving me opportunity to interact with all the students and giving me this platform so that whatever experience I have, I can share this experience with you guys. And I hope it would be a great asset and a great opportunity for you to achieve your endeavors. So I'm going to talk about GRE exams, IELTS exams, TOEFL exams, and how you can how you should prepare all of these exams, and as well as the visas, like when you're going to apply for visas, and what are the documents you need for visas for applying for universities in United States. So everything, what are the credits you required when you come here, what are the opportunities here for the jobs, what are the opportunities for the studies further, like MS, PhD. So I'm going to talk about financial aspects as well, like from the beginning when you start with your GRE, TOEFL, how much amount you have to pay, then how can you what are the aspects are there for financial conditions, and how you can manage all of the things, like when you come here and you start your new career, and once you like go through it, then definitely you'll do it. Like, so I would just help you to understand things over here, like how does it work and how does it work in India as a like PhD student and here. So I will definitely talk about the pharmaceutics background over here and how it works, and like my experience throughout from 2013 in PCP, and PCP gave me a lot. And it's been a like a great journey for me from 2013 to 2017, and still I'm it's been a great journey so far. So I would just begin with the GRE exam and all. But still, anybody having like any doubts regarding that, they can like I'll give you like a minute or something to ask, and I'll just pause and I'll hold on that so that everybody can ask me like any kind of question regarding GRE, like any exams, visa status like F1, H1B, or anything. So I'll be open to all. So it would be a pleasure, and I'm so grateful that I'm having this conversation with everybody. And let's begin. So I'll introduce myself first. I'm basically belong to Mumbai, India, and then I did my schooling from Mumbai itself. Then I came to Pune for 2013 to 17 batch, Pune College of Pharmacy, and I had really good experience with all teachers, and it's been it's been a great working and learning under what professors we had that time, and still I'm sure that you guys are still doing good in with the same professors. And I was from 2013 to 2017 I was involved in on campus activities just like you guys, like uh, blood donation camps, for example pharmacy cup, and I was awarded for second rank for poster presentation and science model competition. So I was involved in all. It's always remember, it's always been like important for me to participate in annual function or any kind of sports event, or it would help you in future. Like you'll get to interact with more people once you involved in all these extracurricular activities. So it's been, for me, it's been always a great opportunity to interact with people. And then after all these I started applying for my GRE classes and all, and I completed my GRE exam and everything in final year. I started thinking about it in third year, and then I implied it in final year. So I started studying TOEFL, GRE, and I had that background and support of my friends and all professors. So I was able to do it. Without them, it wouldn't been possible for me. So in final year, I cleared my GRE, TOEFL, and I started applying in United States. I started applying Canada. I started applying Australia. In Australia, you can apply for good manufacturing practices. We have one more alumni. He's like working there right now, and he studied there as well. And we have more alumni, those who are working in United States currently, from my batch, 2017. So everybody started like that with good guidance, and I'm sure you guys have really like qualified professor. They can like literally help you out, and you just have to approach them. You just have to go and talk about like how does it work in R&D. You should go and ask about HPLC, how does it work, dissolution media, dissolution apparatus, how does it work, then how it's all everything. It's so basically you have to know your stuff, whatever you're studying from 2013 to 17, and how you can connect all these things in when you go in R&D. So you should be able to connect all these things, so that might help you in interview as well. So I'll start with GRE exam, how I prepared any GRE exam like TOEFL and IELTS. So in GRE, I started going. There are two classes in Pune basically. One is Oak, one is Chopras. So it's your choice where you want to go. So, but I would suggest go in Chopras because I've been in Oaks, so I know like how does it work, and there are a lot of people, a lot of students, and it's quite difficult to comprehend, and like go with that compatibility, because there will be many engineers compared to pharmacy people. So I would suggest go in Chopra's because they have less uh, candidates, like a 20 students batch or something per year. So you'll understand better in Chopra's. That's what I feel. Otherwise, like it's everybody's opinion and choice to where they whatever they feel comfortable. And for GRE, you get 170 points for English, 170 points for maths. So basically, once you clear GRE exam, there is no any criteria as such passing or fail. You just have to make sure that you score good points. Like if you score like 300 out of 340, 310, 320, so there are more chances. The more you score, there are more chances you get into good universities. So if you're getting into good universities, there are more chances you'll get GA. Everything is connected. See, everything is connected. So if you are into good university, you'll get good grants. You'll get good opportunity to work under G as a GA position or on campus. You'll they will provide you GA. So if university is good, then you'll get more opportunities. But don't get discouraged. Even though if you get less marks, you can like apply again for GRE, and you can give it again. So on my personal experience, I gave it twice. I gave my GRE exam twice. I got initially something 285 or something, and then I got 302 or something in my second attempt. So then I decided to come here, do my pharmaceutics, and start with good industrial project. And I really got a good opportunity in New York, that I started working as a GA. I started working as a GEA, and then I've been learning pharmaceutical analysis, industrial pharmacy, physical pharmacy, industrial project, seminars, how to write a review article, and all of these subjects, pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic. So all this, so you're going to focus on GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, and simultaneously have to focus on your background as well, because GRE will take you into United States if you clear the exam, if you get. But what is important is to get clear of your basics first. Like when you start in 2013, 2017, so we'll start with organic chemistry, then you'll start with pharmaceutical analysis, then physical pharmacy, then eventually medical chemistry. So the syllabus is like it's been given like on it's on good like time matter. So it's like if you're studying pharmaceutical analysis, so you'll study titration first, and then you'll go to study equipments like HPLC, IR, spectra, mass spectroscopy, gas chromatography, TLC, HPTLC. Now, I think I don't know about your syllabus, but you should study UPLC as well, ultra performance liquid chromatography, because it's getting more famous nowadays. So all of this aspect you should study. And for GRE, I would say you have to study on your own, obviously. And for maths, you have to practice. And for English, it's little, for me, it was difficult compared to maths that time. Like it depends, because I was from Marathi medium schooling. Like I did my schooling from whole in Marathi medium. I was never into convent or any English medium school. So for that time, the English part was little difficult for me. Like not fluency, not grammar, but the vocab, because I did not have that exposure to learn the vocab by the surroundings. So, but language is not a barrier. You can learn anytime. Like you can just go and practice with your friends, watch different series. You can just interact with your professors and try to learn from surroundings. See books, you can learn from books as well. But I believe I whatever I learned so far, I learned from the people, because books are anyway written by people. So the people that matters for you, the surrounding matters for you. And before I begin telling everything like in for foreign studies and everything, I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand. See, if you're failing, that's not the issue. If you're not trying, that's the issue. So the issue comes when you're not trying. If you're not trying to, you're not willing to do it. If you're doing it, that's and you're getting failed and failed all over again. So you should do it until you get it. That's the key. So do not lose hopes ever. If you're gonna achieve like GMAT or GRE or any kind of exam in India as well, or any competitive exam, do not lose hopes. Like keep doing it until you get it. First time, second time, third time, fourth time, you'll definitely get it. That's my words to you. So I would just say that keep doing it. So do you like anybody has any questions so far regarding before I begin with the what are the documents required and everything?
So we actually have cherry picked a few questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is the best place to study? Is it the United States, the UK, Germany, or any country, and why?
It depends how much you can pay. So so it's like Germany is good, United States is also good. Every part of I think every part of world is good depending on what type of career you want to choose. Like if you're going for MBA or something, or if you're an architect, you should go to UK. If you're a pharmacist or if you're in pharmaceuticals, you should go to Germany or United States. If you're an engineer, if you're a civil engineer or IT or something, so then United States and Canada is the best option. If you're automobile engineer or you're into NASA and all things, so then Germany is the best option for you. So that you can there are many like scope there is scope in Germany as well. Like you can study the environmental engineering in Germany, and then you can come for United States to work under NASA. So there are many opportunities. So it depends. You can go to Australia for good manufacturing practices. There is university like University of Sydney in Australia. So it depends what you want, like what you exactly want to pursue after. There are like after bachelor's in like if you consider pharmacy, and if after bachelor's you want to go for pharmacology, if you want to go for DRA or regulatory thing, and industrial pharmacy, cognosy. So in New York, basically, in the pharmaceutical sciences is the core in United States. So if you go for pharmaceutical sciences, you can work in any area. Like you can work in QC, QA, RA. You can work in R&D for formulation and that. So there are a lot of opportunities for you if you do pharmaceutical sciences, like industrial pharmacy in the United States. So after that, if you do biotechnology, you'll be working for gene therapy, and like there are many opportunities in Florida for gene therapy. Like you can work on PCR, ELISA techniques, like in immunoassay, enzyme link immunoassay, polymerase chain reaction. Like all these of techniques you'll learn in future. So for for United States, it's like it's good. You'll get good exposure, but the visa thing, it's quite difficult. Like you have to go a lot. Like you have to go through it a lot. It's like you have to first prepare for student visa. Okay, so you have to submit your documents and all. Then you might get rejected acceptance. So it's all struggle for the visa thing. But once you are here, you're good. You will get the freedom, whatever you want to do in your life, career. But the visa for the visa, then after F1, you have to get transferred to H1B and everything. So it's little haze in United States. But the if you talk about opportunities for the studies, I would say United States. And if you can clear like A1, A2, B1, B2 language skills for Germany, even Germany is great. Like I have one of my friend, those he's doing great job there. So but he has completed Germany language thing like A1, A2, B1, B2. So even Germany is good option, and United States is good option, I would say, compared to any other countries.
There are a few more questions. I
Mm-hmm.
really want to get into an Ivy League college, but my parents are advising to try for Germany for higher education as I don't have deep pockets. Is it really good? Would that be a valuable thing?
Yeah, that would be a definitely valuable thing, because for Germany, you don't have to struggle with visa, first of all. Okay, so once you start working there, once you achieve your goals after studying, you can just start whatever, start your career. Uh, but for Germany, yeah, you have to clear again language skills like A1, A2, B1, B2. So if you're stubborn, you're persistent about your goal, then you should go for Germany. Like, not just because somebody's saying just go to Germany, you should not go. Like, it should be your choice, and it should be your goal. So if you really want to go United States or Australia or any other countries for your masters, then I must say that you should do whatever you feel like. But eventually, the financial aspect you have to consider. So then it's eventually your choice what to do. So I would just say, just take a wise decision, because decision matters. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay, so when is the best time to start preparations of entrance examinations like GPAT, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, etc.?
yeah, you should start the preparation by end of third year, so that from end of third year to till, like, from sixth semester to, like, in sixth semester you should start. On sixth and seventh semester you will be done with your GRE classes, exams, TOEFL, so that you will get a plenty of time in future, like at least 7-8 months, to apply for your admits, like in United States or anywhere in the country, anywhere, sorry, anywhere in the world. So even though if you're not getting any admit, you still have like more months. You don't have to go in haze. Like, always keep like 3-4 months prior, like, so that you don't have to get into trouble at last, because there might be any exam, like, you'll do better, I know. But if you're failing any exam or something, so you always keep like little bit plenty of more time to come over with that. So you should start from semester 6 and semester 7. So you should be able to do it in a well manner, like on a timely manner, I can say. So because I did like that only, and I started applying for masters, and then I immediately got admits in 2-3 universities in the United States. So, and then again, why I'm saying this, because you'll, after admission, once you get admitted, you'll have to apply for visa. And visa thing, it takes time. So if your visa is rejected, then you should be having like 3 to 4 months in your hand to apply for visa again. So because on last moment, like, everything is done, everything is going well, you're getting into any university in the United States, and then you applied for visa. And it's usually fall and spring. So the fall starts in August 2017, the semester, and spring it starts in January 22, around 22 or something. So if you started applying early, then there won't be any problem for you, because visa, if you're rejected, it takes 3 months again to apply for visa. So you should be having enough time, plenty of enough time in your hand before you go ahead. So don't keep it for last moment. Try to do it a semester before, so that you'll get one semester to learn more things. Even though if everything is done, visa is done, even you have 6 months in your hand, so that's not a waste thing. You can just go to any industry or internship, or try to learn the new techniques in that period. And you can keep like a semester before, I would say. So it would be for PharmD graduates, they can come here in United States and do NAPLEX. NAPLEX is an exam for pharmacist. So, and it's mandatory. So once you complete your PharmD in India, you can come here and do one master's or any MBA. And meanwhile, you can do NAPLEX exam. So then once you, like, after NAPLEX, once you clear NAPLEX exam, you get one license to work here in United States. And on that license, so you can work until you get your green card. So it's like that. and you get the PhD, like doctorate degree for PharmD. So that is a status. So you don't have to file for your H1B thing. You directly get green card as long as you work in the United States. So for PhD students, for PharmD students, it's a different category for visa thing. You don't have to go for H1B and all. You just have to work here until you get green card. So it's like that. And I think in Canada as well, there are opportunities for PharmD students. The DRA program comes under non-STEM. It's non-STEM, and the rest of the uh, programs comes under STEM. So only DRA, they get opportunity to work for 1 year instead of 3 years. It's like that.
Okay. What would be the future trends when the United States of America is planning to deport international students amid the COVID-19 pandemic?
Right now, I just heard, I was watching news. So they made some rule that for F1 student, they have to go back if they're going to attend the online classes. Yeah. But now rules that they filed a petition and now rules been changed. So it's like they don't have to go back now. Yeah, it's said by government. So they don't have to go back. That's the current scenario now. But earlier, like a week ago, it was like that. They mentioned that you have to go back. So, but legally, you can stay here until and unless you do any like a crime, or if you're good at, like, if you're good from your side here, you're behaving as a good citizen, you're good. If you're not doing any crime, or if you're not working anywhere illegally, you can work on campus, but you cannot work off campus over here. So if you get caught, you'll be deported right away. You won't get second chance. So it's like that.
What visa were you on, and what are the formalities that one has to endure to get a work visa after an MS degree?
Yeah. So basically, I came here on my F1 visa. I got it for 5 years. So every student after masters, they get visa for 5 years. So it's like 2 years of education and three. Okay. So you come on F1 visa, you study here, then you can work on. You have to work for. You have to apply for your EAD card. It's employment authorization document. So yeah, once you graduate accordingly, then like if you're graduating in May, you should apply for your EAD card in January, so that you'll, once you graduate, you'll be having your EAD card in your hand. So you have to apply accordingly. So once you get your EAD card, you can work for 3 years without any hesitation, without any visa thing, without any, like, you don't need any visa to work. It is just EAD given by the USCIS, Homeland Security. So you can work for 3 years. But meanwhile, in this, you have to think about future, right? So then you'll have to apply for H1B. So there are 2 3 criterias. Like first is company wherever you're working. If you're working for Johnson and Johnson, if you're working for anywhere like Novartis, they should file H1B for you. That is the first thing. Second thing is the lottery system. So suppose out of from 1 lakh people, only 35,000 people get selected. 35 to 40,000, like 35%, you can say 35 to 40% people get selected for H1B. So is the another factor. Once you get picked, then you have to submit all the documents. Then they will check, verify, and they will send you the approval letter of your H1B. So once you get H1B, you can work for 3 years again without any hesitation. And then for next time, for after 3 years, then you have to again apply for H1B renewal. So it's like that. So once you apply for H1B renewal, that goes under category of green card. So your H1B gets renewed until you get green card. So that's the process. So it's like F1, H1B, H1B, and the green card. So that's the process for your student visa thing. And those who are gonna do internship and all, they can apply for J1 visa. There is another visa for J1. Yeah, those wanna do masters and then set a business or something over here. They are looking for a big goal or something. They want to just start their pharmacy or something, whatever. They have to get the B visa. That's business visa.
Okay. Is France a good opportunity for people who are planning to go in after pharmacy?
Yeah, France, Netherlands, there are good opportunities for PharmD students, basically. So yeah, so I don't think so for pharmacy thing, like pharmaceutical sciences, they have good opportunity in France and as compared to any other country like United States. But for PharmD in Netherlands, they have good opportunity, and in France as well. So PharmD people can think about going France.
Okay. What is it like to live in the foreign countries, and what are some problems that one may tend to face during the study tenure?
Oh, so once like basically the visa is the major issue. Like whenever you're in India, you have to go all the procedures, and it takes a lot of time, and it's 50, like you can say it's 30-40% it's your luck about visa. Rest of the thing, how you prepare for visa. So all of that struggle, then you once you come here alone, then you have to find the temporary accommodation initially. Then you have to know the area. You have to just explore first initially to know the area around your university. How does it work? How many professors are there? And a lot of things like you have to see the expenses, have to manage the expenses like the rent and everything. So you can manage the expenses. Like I'll share my experience when I came here, like back in 2017. I started working in my university as a GA. That's the library position, and as a GA. So it was easy for me to like luckily to manage my expenses as compared to any other student, because I started working immediately. Like when I reached here, I started doing applications all over again. I started visiting. I started approaching professors and all departments. So we thought, okay, this guy coming again and again, trying a lot. So we can think about him. So that's what happened for me. So you have to, once you come here, you have to start approaching people, have to talk to them. Like you'll have to initiate the talk, or you have to approach the professor for the GE and everything. So that's why I'm saying from 2000, like whatever in undergrad, whatever you're studying, you should connect all those things. You should approach your professor, that so that it would be easy for you in future once you come here, so you can present yourself in front of them in a well manner. So it would be easy for you. So after that, once you're here, we have to like see all the transportation thing, all the basic stuff, the rent and everything, then the fees. So basically in United States, it's not like India. So it's like you have to attend 9 credits per semester. So it's like 3 credits, one subject. So there will be 3 subjects, 9 credits. So in per semester, so one credit would be around $1,400 to $1,500, and that goes up to per semester fees. For me, it was $13,000 per annum. Sorry, per semester, and it's like $26,000 per annum. So overall, it was 40 to $45,000 for me for my masters. And the basic expenses goes around for 2 years, it's $15,000. You can consider 15 to 20. So overall cost for in United States, in New York, basically, if you go in another state, it's living and everything is little cheap. Like where if you're gonna spend overall $50,000 in in New York, you'll be spending $40,000. Like you can save $10,000 if you're staying outside New York or somewhere in outskirts, like if you go to sunny Buffalo, if you go to Virginia, if you go to Chicago. So these kind of places are like cheap, you can say, like inexpensive rather. And near in California, San Francisco, if you go to LA, San Diego, if you go to Vegas, if you go to Boston, if you go to New York, Virginia, if you go to Rhode Island and Cambridge, and from like there are a lot of places where the fees are way too high, expensive as compared to any other place, and the living cost is also high. But in New York, I would say if you stay in city, you'll get good exposure, because there will be a lot of people from different race. So you'll be interacting with different kind of people. So that would be a great asset to your character. Like you can just learn new languages. Like I've been learning a little bit about Spanish, Espanol. Yeah, so you can learn new languages. You can interact. So it would help you in city, obviously. But obviously the financial aspect is there. So everybody should decide according to their budget.
Okay.
Hmm.
I have been trying for many industry-oriented internships abroad, but face a huge rejection rate, primarily due to not having a visa in that country.
Internship in United States, you must be having experience from India as well. Like if you should be able to, like you should be working in currently working in R&D center or any like in R&D analytical or formulation. So you should have like a proper background first, like 2 years, 3 years of experience. Then you can apply for internship. So because they need somebody who is having good experience first, then only they will hire you, or they will see you, like to see you in United States. So I would say first try to get your potential knowledge and get good acquire knowledge and get good experience in industry in India. And once you have good experience, you're confident enough, then you if you apply, they might think about it. So then you have to apply for J1 visa. That's the internship. So don't get discouraged, even though if you're like facing rejection. I have been facing rejections for that as well. Even I have been giving interviews. Almost I gave more than 30-40 interviews so far. So I've been rejecting. So it's don't get discouraged, just keep applying, try where you're going wrong, why they are rejecting you. So because you don't have proper experience, so that's why they are rejecting you. So try to get experience from India. It doesn't matter where you're, like it's a big company or small company. So as long as you have good experience in big company, even they're going to operate HPLC. In small company, even they're going to operate HPLC. So it doesn't matter where you're getting experience, as long as you're getting knowledge. That's what matters. So once you have potential knowledge, I must say you should try for internship. You will definitely get it.
So, what is the current process like amid the COVID-19 pandemic? What is the current process like one can get through?
Yeah, current process is now in United States. They have set some rules that those who are going to apply or going to come to United States for higher education, they can just wait for a semester and they can give like online session, like online exams. They can attend online classes from India itself, and they're going to observe for one semester how does it work, like how, like whether it's the pandemic is getting over or whether it's increasing, decreasing. So they're gonna just observe for that particular semester, because they don't want people to get into trouble once they are here, because international borders are closed right now. So if you're willing to come here, so you can just start attending online sessions, online classes through India. And then next semester they might approach you, or you can approach them to come into United States once the COVID-19 situation is normal. But right current scenario is it's all online classes for them, those who are in India. But for those who are here, maybe they will start going to schools because they're already here. So if somebody is attending third semester, fourth semester, they can go. But those who are gonna attend first semester, they will have to go through online session only, because you are not in the United States. It's
What
about
is your what is your guidance for students? What they should do other than academic activities, and how you feel yourself different now?
in basically you have literally good opportunity in Pune College of Pharmacy, because first thing is your all professors are highly qualified. You can literally learn everything from them. We have equipments like HPLC and everything in our Pune College of Pharmacy. And from my experience, I have been learning a lot from our professors. And I know, like, it's sometimes you bunk classes, and sometimes you miss classes. The attendance is low and everything. That's normal. That's completely fine. But don't forget to learn things. Like, I would suggest that try to attend classes as much as you can, and try to go and approach your professors. Like, I want to know about HPLC. Okay, how does it work? Like, what mobile phase you are using in HPLC? What kind of buffer you're using? If you're doing powder analysis, if you're doing characterization, like softness, like hardness of the tablet. If you're checking it, then you'll do for chemical analysis, chemical studies, like drug release profile, dissolution studies. So how PKPD, how physical pharmacy, how industrial pharmacy, how pharmaceutical analysis, everything is connected together. So you have to learn if you have to approach from your side first to professor, because they are not going to come to you and tell you come, like they cannot force you, or they won't do on behalf of you. You have to go in labs, you have to learn how graphs are generated in HPLC, how what are the columns we use, what is the retention factor, what is LOQ, LOD. There are a lot of things. There are many things. Now you just this is just tiny part you are learning, like in bachelor's, like you're just theoretical part, but there are a lot of things you can learn practically. So by the experience you can learn, and moreover I would say interact with people, try to organize events, try to get involved in sports, try to go for donation camps, blood donation camps, go into NSS activity. You can go for all the competitions, like you can represent your university. Like I've been representing Pune College of Pharmacy for chess, and with my friends I was in the team for the badminton. So I've been doing all this in from 2013 to 17. So I it helped me a lot. So I hope all these activities, interacting with people, how you present yourself, and everything you learn, and it would help you in future for masters. Because once you are here, you'll be interacting with people a lot. So that's that's there. So you should learn as much as you can during undergrad. And one more thing, I know there are a lot of students having language barrier, like the fluency, maybe grammar, or maybe a vocab. So don't get discouraged. I would say even I was from like from first standard to 12th standard, I studied in Marathi medium. I was never into convent. I was never into this English medium school. But once I started getting surrounding, once I just had that approach, learning approach, and your surrounding matters. Because I've been studying from 2013 to 2017. I've been studying this thing my undergrad with my friends. They were from convent, so I started learning from like by them. So it's like your surrounding totally matters. The way you grow, it's all depends on your like surrounding, your friends. You should learn from your friends, like whatever you don't know, make sure everybody's on the same page. So you should be having a good quality and good mentality mindset, how you can help other and how you can help yourself simultaneously. So that what matters.
Okay. So there are certain questions like not everything that you study in your graduation is important. Like there are some things that are obsolete, and like what are the things that you should point focus on what thing, and what are the changes that you should do in Indian pharmacy colleges?
See, back in 2013 to 17, I used to think the same way, that why I'm studying this, why I'm studying that. But government has set one syllabus, and that is really important, because like everything is connected. So we have to study everything, because if you're not studying about PKPD, how are you going to come to know that about the like drug release profile, like how PKPD thing, like pharmacokinetic dynamic, how much amount of drug is getting dissolved, or bioavailability. So it is all connected. So if you study dosage form design, you'll come to know about suspension. So first you do like dissolution studies, then like there are a lot of procedures. You have to set the say see the rotation time, then you have to take out the you have to prepare the media, 0.1 normal HCl. Like it's a long process. So once you do PKPD, then you have to focus on pharmaceutical analysis, because it's all connected. Then you so an HPLC gives you the absorption spectra. Like there you can come to know the how much amount of how much, like you can detect the lowest concentration, you can detect the individual components in a mixture. So how then you'll come to know how mobile phase we have, which mobile phase we should use. You might have heard about mobile phase and everything.
Yeah.
And talking about physical thing, physical pharmacy, again, if you would have learned PK and pH, you might have heard PK, pH is equal to PK, 50% ionization. PK is 50% where the drug is 50% ionized, 50% unionized. So it's like that. You might have heard about Henderson Hagelberg equation. like pH is equal to pK log base upon acid. So we have to, it's all connected, it's everything is connected. So you have to learn about the physical pharmacy, pharmaceutical analysis, PKPD parameters. In biochemistry as well, you might be learning electron transport chain, urea cycle. So it's everything is connected to each other. So I would not suggest that you should not just focus on one subject. After masters, if you're getting interested in physical pharmacy, you can do PhD in physical pharmacy. That could be your core. But initial stage, you have to know all of the things, because in interview, if they ask you that, okay, whatever, tell me whatever you learned back during your undergrad. So you'll have to explain in a well manner, so that they comprehend you, that you whatever you're saying makes sense, and whatever you've been learning, that connects, like you can connect the dots. And the rest of the stuff, practical thing, you can learn on the practical platform over there in industry. So the big industries, they think like whatever I'm saying, like the Johnson and Johnson, Novartis, Pfizer, what they think the student candidates approach with positivity, like he can work with the team or not, how he's going to perform with the team if he's given any task. So they will see your basics are clear, you can connect the dots. Rest of the things you can learn over there once you're there. So it works like that. And also, because everything matters, everything is connected in pharmaceutical field. You'll come to know when you'll work in R&D center.
Okay. So there are a lot of questions on financial restraints. So should I so start with it?
Yeah, sure.
Like, what do we do to get the scholarships, and what is the ideal way and timing to pursue one?
Yeah, for the scholarship, you have to score a good marks in GRE. Like if you're scoring 320, more than 320, that's good enough. So if you have to approach to university from India, that I have this score and I'm planning to do masters here, and then you have to apply for financial aids to their departments. So if they approved, then you'll get scholarship. If your TOEFL score is higher, if your IELTS score is higher. So basically, TOEFL is for Australia and United States, and IELTS is for Canada and Europe. So basically, the more acceptance rate for TOEFL is higher in United States as compared to IELTS. So you should, once you are here, like you have to come first year, you have to keep your GPA high. Like if here the scenario is different, here you have to see the GPA, it's like out of 4 pointer. So if you keep your GPA high, if you're good with professors, you're approaching well, and if they like you, they will take you for GA. And then once you get GA, from 9 credits, your 6 credits will be waived off. So you'll just have to pay for 3 credits. You don't have to pay for 6 credits. So it would be just, instead of if you're paying $13,000, you'll just paying like $4,000, $5,000 rather. So that's what you can do. Then you can apply for GEA position in library, where they will pay you. There's some amount they will per hour. So you can manage the expenses and your fees from that as well. So yeah, that's what.
Can one get a full-time work while studying? Like, instead of a
No,
part-time one, can one get a full-time?
full time. You see, is the like, okay, I have to start with the basic again. See, for students, those who come here in United States, once they start doing first semester, second semester, they get one visa, which is CPT. It's like, it is just like one letter from university that you can do internship. So you can do internship, summer internship. That's like what I did in Avon in New Jersey. So just like, if you can do summer internship for like 40 hours in summer, and if they like you, or if you want to continue, you can continue for 20 hours as well during your classes. So the first thing first, you have to get the internship here after your first year. That depends totally on your GPA, your approach, your projects. in India, what if you have experience in India, then only they will consider you for a candidacy for the internship. So you get 1 year CPT, curricular practical training, where you it could be a paid internship, unpaid internship, that is totally depending on the company. And then after CPT, once you go in second year, after first year you can work plus study, not but first year you cannot do full time. After first year you can work and study and continue with the full time as well afterwards.
Okay. What are the most ideal parameters the finance committee looks upon in an ideal candidate, and how can that be worked upon? Like,
Okay, so basically I'll go start with solvency. Like you have to first of all you have to collect all documents. Like you have to collect your SOP, LOR, and I would start with the all documents first list. Then I'll go with the financial aspect. Okay. So SOP, LOR, then your transcripts, then your degree certificate, and all of, like, I have a checklist. If anybody wants a checklist for the documents, I can send it on their email. So when you see the financial aspect, you have to have the solvency. You can show your fixed deposits, you can show your savings. There's liquid, not like semi liquid. So it's like that. So you can show fixed deposits. You can take loan. Basically the loan rate would be more or less around 10 to 11% in any bank. You can take gold loan. If you're going for gold loan, you might get into like 4 to 5% interest rate. So property loan, so it depends. So you can, it's as per your condition, like financial background. You can go, for me, I did, like, I used my fixed deposit and everything. So for student loan, you have to show some amount first. On I-20, they will, once you get admit, they will send you I-20. So on I-20 there is an amount. So that amount, and whatever you're showing, it should be more than that amount. So once you send it back, then they will consider you for like you won't be facing any financial problem. So you have to make sure that the university understands that you can be a great good candidate as per the financial background. Yeah, so you have to show more amount rather. Like if there, for example, if there are $25,000 on I-20, you must show like 40,000 or $35,000 to university, so that they will make sure that, okay, once you are here, there won't be any financial problems you're facing. So they will consider you as a candidate.
okay. What is better to opt in cases where one would like to get into the industry, MS or an MS PhD integrated course, and what are its pros and cons?
It's United States or India in
Both.
general? It's both. So obviously, if you're going for a PhD, that would be a good option for your career as well as for your status in the United States. So because for PhD student, as I said earlier, you don't have to go through H1B. You can just directly work. And in PhD, you learn a lot. Like you get stipend over here, and there are good lab practices, GLP, GMP, and you'll be learning new equipments like thermoanalytical methods like FTIR, TSC. So you'll be learning a lot in PhD. And but if your goal is to work here after masters, then there are many opportunities as well in United States. Like if if anybody is going for generics, there are in many pharmaceuticals in New Jersey, in Boston, in Philadelphia, and West Coast in California. It's like San Francisco or Las Vegas, Los Angeles. Sorry. So there are many opportunities for after masters as well. So it's totally depending on your goal. What both things are good. Like if you're going for PhD, that is even good. If you're more into research, I think you should go for PhD. But if you're more kind of like if you just want to get a good experience in industry, and if you just want to start your career, I think you can just do masters and then start working in a good industry. Like if you can work in generics or brands depending on your background, your experience.
Okay. What are some hacks to finance your entire tuition fees during the tenure?
During, sorry,
During the tenure.
actually I can't hear you. It would be great if you repeat.
What are some hacks to finance your entire tuition fees during the tenure? Like your tenure, your stay.
Hacks.
Yeah.
Okay, good question. There is no hack as such. Like only thing you can do is if you have a good experience, you can approach professors for GA so that the fees will reduce, like will be reduced. If you're paying 13,000, if the regular student, like a normal student, paying $13,000, then you'll be paying $4,000-5,000 if you have GA. That's another like one thing. And if I started telling you the hacks illegally, then they will deport me right away. So I'll tell all the hacks and everything on the background, behind the stage. So this is not the right platform to like talk about it. I am sorry about that.
Indeed, I can understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what is the best way to get into research and development sector, and what is the best decisions to make for the same?
Okay, for the research and development, in R&D, you can go for analytical department and you can go for formulation as well. So see, how does it work? It's like QC is the lowest part of R&D. So if you're working in QC, you'll have to follow the procedures. Like if being a scientist, my experience is if I'm working in R&D, we develop a method. Okay, so we go with the trial and error method. So we develop a method, we see how much absorbance we are getting in HPLC. If we do literature studies, so we have to prepare a method and then submit, like do the documentation and everything. And then the QC part comes. The QC will check the accuracy, precision, whatever we worked in a lab. So that's the QC part. So, and in formulation, you can go for formulation as well. You'll learn a lot. But for that, you have to know about the granulation, like dry granulation, wet granulation, direct compaction. So all these aspects. So first, you have to decide if you have whole knowledge of pharmaceuticals, and it's not possible that you will have all the knowledge because there are a lot of it's vast. You have a lot of things to learn. So it's totally depends on your choice where you want to go. You can go for vigilance, you can go for medical writing as well. There are many opportunities in India. There are many opportunities for PhD for in our college. If I think, to be honest, if I was not here, I wouldn't have I would have done a master's and PhD from Pune College of Pharmacy if
Uh,
they were ready, if they are ready to give.
I currently have a keen interest in pharmacology and want to pursue my MS in the same, but
Mhm.
also want to get into production. So, is this decision legitimate or should I change my stream? Like, can I get into production post MS or MS PhD in pharmacology?
Yeah, if you're doing MS PhD in pharmacology, you'll be working in clinical research. You won't be like, I don't think so. You'll be working in production line because it would be depending. You'll be working for phase 1, phase 2 studies. Like you'll be doing all trials, like clinical trials, preclinical trials, clinical trials. You'll be working on like maybe gene therapy, cell culture. So for if you're doing pharmacology, you have good opportunity in research field, I would say, not in production. That's what I feel like. If I'm doing pharmacology, I would definitely go for research thing. Like the production part, you can, if you're working in manufacture, like if you have good experience with manufacturing thing, and if you're done sutex, then you can go for production, I would say. Like you, if you're studying regulatory affairs, how come you can like it's a different field. Like it, yeah. I hope like everybody understands.
Yeah.
But I would say if you're doing pharmacology, definitely go for research. That would be a great option for you.
Okay. India is deep rooted into the generic sector, and the R&D sector is not very profound here. How do I get into R&D after graduation?
Yeah, to get into R&D after graduation, first of all, bachelor students are not allowed in R&D. For that, you have to do masters. So all master, you have to do masters. You have to do side by side industrial projects. You'll be, I think, in India, if you talk about Pune College of Pharmacy, you have two choices. Like if you're doing masters, you can do industrial project, I guess, in industry, and you can do thesis. So we have to do the thesis or industrial project, either of them, to get into R&D. So that and try to do internship as much as, once you get time, do internship, learn in how R&D works, how like how formulation works, how validation works. So how, like if you're working in R&D, you have to go do the dissolution and you have to see the deviations, like how exactly R&D works, how things are connected to each other. You have to learn a lot by being in a R&D lab. Then try to do internship, do masters, whether in United States or India, it doesn't matter, as long as you have knowledge, like you are learning a lot in masters, you'll be getting into R&D thing. And R&D, you can either in R&D for analytical or R&D for formulation. So this is how it works.
Okay. What are the career prospects and salary trends after one gets into the R&D sector?
Yeah, so here on an average, if you do, like if you're doing masters, and after masters, if you're going R&D, like if you're going like formulation scientist, or if you're working as a vaccine development scientist, or in analytical chemist, or QC in QC or somewhere. So it differs. If you're working in R&D, on an average for formulation scientist, the salary pay rate would be for generics $40,000 to $60,000, in between $42,000 annum to $60,000. But if you're going for brand, if you're getting into brand like Johnson and Johnson, Novartis, or any other multinational company, then you'll get around $75,000 to $80,000 per annum. So it's like that in R&D. Yeah, so R&D you get well paid in United States, because you'll be working in a good profile. So for brands, it's more. For generics, local companies is less. But you'll definitely start with $45,000 per annum year in R&D.
Okay. Most people attribute the R&D scientists to toppers locked in a laboratory setting with the most sophisticated instruments. What indeed is the real life scenario of an R&D scientist?
So as a R&D scientist, see, you'll be working with the team. Okay, so suppose if you're working on HPLC, you'll be facing problems like you have to use, see, there are two columns. You'll be using two columns, like C18 column, C8 column. So first of all, you have to understand why we use these columns. So C18 column is for the non-polar drug. Okay, so there will be most of the analyte, most of the drugs will be non-polar. Okay, so you'll be using non-polar column for non-polar drugs. So non-polar column we use because non-polar column holds the analyte, because that is non-polar for the longer time. And we use different mobile phases. So being a scientist, we have to prepare a mobile phase by doing literature study. We for mobile phase is always, you might have learned, like it's organic phase and inorganic phase. Like for example, it's like methanol, ACN, or methanol, or any kind of buffer. The buffer could be like, depending on the sample, it could be phosphate buffer or acetate buffer. So you might use ammonium chloride, or you might use sodium acetate, or you phospho hydro sulfate. So you can use that as well. So it depends. It depends like which buffer you use. It depends totally on the sample you get. So you have to test the sample, have to run the HPLC. Then what mobile phase does, see, you are learning all this theoretical part, like mobile phase. Now you'll come to know why we are learning about the buffer, why we studied about buffer. You know only the definition, that which resists the change in pH. But how does it work in industry? Why, when we use buffer, the buffer we use to resist the certain pH during the process, so that the analyte should elute out in an appropriate manner, and the flow rate, pH, and temperature should be appropriate during the process. So we have, that's why we have to use the buffer. That's called buffer capacity. So we use phosphate and acetate buffer as a being scientist. So we do all literature studies, and sometimes you face problems like there might be bubbles in the system, like the pipe. So you have to draw the bubbles from the system. Then you'll be, if you're using buffer, any salt, then there might be precipitation in the column, which is C19 column, non-polar column. So there might be precipitation. Then you have to clean the column, have to run the buffer again. Then that HPLC is connected to two detectors. One is the UV detector and one is PDA detector. Sometimes they use PDA because if you run more than one sample, you have to use PDA detector. But most of the time they will use UV detector. So these detectors shows the reading on the computer, and the computers shows that it has like empowered software. So in that software, you will come to know about the AUFS, and all the sample volume, vial number, and injection amount, like everything you'll come to know on the software. Then you have to set some area to, then you quantify it and analyze it. You do qualitative analysis, you do quantitative analysis. You have to get the graphs. It would be a recorder, and so that you'll get the graphs on like peaks. You can see the peaks of the analyte. So you have to compare two peaks, like the difference between two peaks, and you have to divide with the weed. So it's like with, so it's a long process basically. So eventually you get bioassay and absorption spectra for that, and this is how it works in R&D, like as far as I worked as an intern.
What are the industry-oriented opportunities for students who return to India after completion of their MS abroad?
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. Like if it depends how, like in from which university you're doing masters. Like if you're getting good exposure in United States, if you're doing masters, you'll get the same opportunity in United States as well as in India, but the pay rate would differ. Like you're going to learn the same thing. We are not doing anything in United States. We are not doing anything different than India. It's like the same thing. Whatever they are doing in R&D, we are doing here. So it is, the only difference is the environment, like the working atmosphere, working environment. If you're working with the team in India, I don't know, I don't want to like discriminate, but I felt like from my experience, I was working in India as an intern. Uh, I did not have that good team environment, I would say. But here, you'll get a good exposure, good team environment. It depends, person to person. So I'll be working for Johnson and Johnson, so I'll get good team environment. So you can learn from your seniors, you can learn from your supervisor, and they will guide you, and they will make sure that you're learning all the equipments. So both, like in India and in US, you have good opportunity in R&D after masters. I would say the working environment and the pay rate would differ as per my experience. So it's anyway, if you like initially, if you like being in India and want to work in India, that's a good opportunity. If you want to work in United States after masters for some year, then it's a good thing. Like for me, I'll be working for 3-4 years, then I'll try to go for H1B, and my ultimate goal is to start my own pharmaceuticals in back in India after 7-8 years, once I get my potential knowledge.
Is it pertinent pursuing an MBA either in India or abroad after B Farm and Farm D?
Yeah, for B Farm, no, I would say if you do masters and then come here and do MBA, that would be a good option, because if you're doing masters, you'll be getting more knowledge before you do MBA. But after bachelor's, I don't think so. It's a good idea to come here and do MBA. I would say for MBA, you can go to Mumbai for Nasi. I would suggest, because it's a good college for MBA. There are a lot of good colleges in Pune as well for MBA, but I would say do masters and then go for MBA, because here for MBA you have to go through GMAT. So you have to start working on GMAT exam like GMAT is comparatively difficult than GRE. So you have to start it soon. So it's totally up to you, like where you want to pursue your masters, whether in India and USA. It's both are good options for MBA.
Okay. Which area or university in the United States would you suggest for an MS in biotech?
I would suggest University of Florida for biotech. Yeah, Orlando. So that is really good university for students, those who are thinking to go for biotechnology, because they have a lot of grants, they have good GLP, GMP practices, and I think Orlando would be the best option. You can search on Google University of Florida for
Okay.
biotechnology. Yeah, so you'll be working in downstream, upstream process development after that, or you'll be having more opportunity to do PhD in biotech as well.
Okay. Like what are the career prospects after biotech, MS in biotech or an MS PhD in biotech?
Yeah, so as far as I know, like I come from a different field, like pharmaceutical sciences, but I have like a little bit idea about it. I can't talk in details in biotechnology because I'm not from that background. But I would say you can work in gene therapy. You'll be working as a downstream or upstream process vaccination development, or you'll be working on the methods of PCR, ELISA, so where you have to see the like DNA copies, like you have to replicate it from the host cell. You have to see the how much amount of antibody is connected, antigen is connected to antibody, like how much amount of protein is connected to antibody. So you'll be learning all of these gene therapy and all the things after biotech, and you'll be working as a scientist in vaccination process development, or maybe in R&D sector more. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I cannot talk in details about it because I am not from that background. So
It's all right,
I
sir.
apologize. Yep.
Um, well, I believe that's like we are to the end of this. Like there are not many questions arising.
Okay. So for all students, I would just like to thank all students and all teachers and all staff for being here with me, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to all students. And I am seeing Kamla right in front of me. So I am thanking everybody, and thank you for this platform. And it was really great talking to you, Ryan, and all of the students. I hope I cleared all the doubts whatever the student had. Sorry. So if anybody wants any help regarding like applications or GRE exam, or like all universities information, so I would really happy to help. And you can contact me on my mail address, or you can either contact me on my contact number. So thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks a lot, sir. That indeed put forth for us a great insight over such a vast and much awaited topic. Like everyone's really awaiting for this thing. We, although unwillingly, might have to bid adieu to this beautiful session as the moon smiles upon us.
Yeah, no
As
problem.
of this jovial mood, we take a really different insight. It is rightly said. The teachers are the best as they show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. And their influence will never be erased. Furthermore, I also humbly request Dr. Deepali Bansode ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
Before that, Ryan, Pawar sir, do you want to ask any question to Vinod?
Uh,
Before putting.
yeah. Actually, I should appreciate first Vinay, the fantastic guidance you've given, like a very senior most person having all the experiences around. You spoken okay at the student level also, and very matured, very matured. So I appreciate for your understanding, and proud of you that you are PCP student and a great PCP and working in US. So really, it is a good thing, and I appreciate Ryan and our alumni in charges, Dipali and Sharvit, for such fantastic program. And this program, I hope that it will become a prime program for guidance and counseling in the future. So all the best from my side, and very thankful to Vinay, and all the best.
And thank you, sir, for your kind words, and I really appreciate that. And I will be always a part of Pune College of Pharmacy, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And it's always been great working and learning under all of the professor during 2013 to 17. So it's my pleasure to talk and interact with the students. And thank you so much once again.
Okay, so with this end note, I'll propose a vote of thanks over here. An ignited mind is the most powerful weapon on the earth, above the earth and under the earth. And that is because of the education. So education is the most profitable investment for the near future. A very good evening, everyone. And I'm honored and lucky to have the opportunity to present a vote of thanks for our first Alum-Net. On behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth Deemed University, Pune College of Pharmacy, Alumni Association, I would like to extend my thanks to our eminent young dynamic speaker, Vinay, who at a very short notice accepted our invite and shared his views on different aspects and answered most of the questions which every young mind at our PCP has. I would like to thank our principal, vice principal for the timely support and valuable guidance to us. I'm thankful to all my energetic, enthusiastic organizing team of students who made this event a success. Myself and Sharvil sir were just keeping and watch on them. Everything, every technical thing and calling the resource persons, everything they had managed, sir. So it is just the team's effort and our host, Ryan, he is always evergreen. In any program, Ryan always is there to support us. And further, a big thank to all the participants, my colleagues. I mention my deepest sense of appreciation and would place on record my hearty thanks to all because of whom the event is success. So thank you one and all. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. So good night, everyone. We'll sign out now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I wish you like safe and healthy life during this pandemic.
Thank you, Vinay. And all the best. We all are proud of you. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, Vinay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Have a good one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,